Okay, so here is a technique which you can teach your tutor, your language tutor, to use, and it will enable you to get more input. You will be able to hear more language using this technique. Okay, and we all know the importance of that, to internalize language so we develop a feel for how words fit together. So in Japanese, how do the words fit together? We want to develop this feel, not necessarily an understanding, we just want the feel, right? Just like native speakers have and fluent speakers. So this technique, what is this technique? Circling is asking questions about a statement. So the teacher asks questions to the student about a statement. So we start with a statement like, Tim is using a spoon. So we start with this, Tim is using a spoon, okay? And the questions are like this. Is Tim using a spoon? Is Tim using a spoon? The answer is yes. The student just needs to answer the question in a short way. Just, yeah, he's using a spoon. Yeah, he's using a spoon. Is Tim using a knife? No, he's not using a knife. It's not a knife that he's using. It's a spoon. Okay? When Tim kills people, he uses a knife, but he's eating, I suppose. He's currently eating or something. He's using a spoon. He's not using a knife. Is Tim using a spoon or chopsticks? He's using a spoon. A spoon. So the student just says a spoon. And yeah, that's right. Tim not using chopsticks, he's using a spoon. He can't use chopsticks. Doesn't know how to use chopsticks. Anyway, so another question about this statement. What else could we ask? What is Tim using? A spoon. Okay, yeah. Who is using the spoon? Tim is, right? Tim's the person who's using the spoon. Okay, so we start with a statement, and then the teacher asks questions, and the student answers the question, the one-word answer, yes, no, spoon. And the teacher, kind of adds on to that. So yeah, he is using a spoon. No, he's not using a knife. Okay, no, he's not using chopsticks. He can't use chopsticks. He's using a spoon. Tim is the person who's using a spoon. So the idea is that the student gets to hear a variety of questions asked at them, and a variety of statements said to them, confirming or denying whatever's true. And so basically, you're just one basic premise, but a lot of comprehensible language that follows it to enable the student to basically, hear more language. That's all it is. So this, you probably think, what the hell is this? If you're a native English speaker, because you're fluent in English, you don't need any more input for English. But if I do this in Japanese, I think you'll kind of see the value of this. So let's do it in Japanese. What sentence should I use? I'm going to use Tanaka-san. Tanaka-san wa, what's going on here? Tanaka-san wa, Miley Cyrus ni aitai desu. That's my sentence. So, Miley Cyrus ni aitai desu. So, questions. What questions can I ask here? Tanaka-san ga aitai no wa Miley Cyrus desu ka? Hai, Miley Cyrus desu. 田中さんはマイリー・サイラスになりたいですか？いいえ、マイリー・サイラスになりたくないです。マイリー・サイラスに会いたいですね。田中さんはマイリーさんに会いたいですか？それともマイリーさんのお父さんに会いたいですか？どっちですか？マイリーさんですね。そのお父さんには会いたくないです。ね。じゃあ、マイリーに会いたいのは誰ですか？田中さんです。田中さんですね。マイリーに会いたいのは。田中さんは何をしたいですか？何がしたいですか？マイリーに会いたいですね。 Okay, so there's like 5 questions I asked. So we say there's a yes question, there's a no question, there's an either or question. These are different types of questions. The answer is yes, the answer is no. It's an either or an or question. It's a who question, it's a what question. And so basically the teacher just goes through all the possible questions that could be asked about this statement. Could I ask a where question about this statement? Well, there's no location involved, so it's a bit weird to ask a where question here. So first you just want to exhaust the questions that can be asked with the knowledge that has been established. So just we can ask a yes or a no question, we can ask an either or, we can ask a who, we can ask a what, and many varieties of who, right? We can ask several who wants to meet Miley, who does Tanaka want to meet, right? So Miley ni aitai no wa dare? Or 誰がマイリーに会いたいですか? And then we got 田中さんが会いたいのは誰ですか? 田中さんは誰に会いたいですか? Okay. So it's quite useful because the student has to be listening quite in a focused way to understand the subtleties, right, between the particles and who's the subject, all that stuff. So it's just a way of practicing listening and paying attention, and the student gets to hear more sentences that they otherwise wouldn't have, right? If your lessons are just chatting random stuff, well, that's okay, but here's an easy way to suddenly ramp up the amount of input you get from just one sentence. So one sentence can generate many more sentences, and that's the beauty of this technique. So I hope that's a basic introduction to this technique called circling. Again, you start with a statement, you ask questions about it. Okay, the teacher asks questions to the student about it, and then the teacher should be kind of repeating, so like repeat the negative sentence or repeat the positive sentence. Like, no, he's not using a knife, he's using a spoon. Okay, Tim is the one who's using the spoon, not Trump or whatever. So, what kind of sentences should you be circling? Whenever there's like new language, whenever there's language that you feel like, wait a second, I'm not really comfortable with this word, I'm not comfortable with this structure, you can just say to the teacher, hey, can you do the circling thing? Circle this sentence. Okay, this one's tricky. And you keep circling until it becomes easy, until the student can kind of effortlessly respond and effortlessly hear and comprehend. So, try that out. That's just a basic introduction. There's a lot more to it, I guess, to make it, not so boring. The teacher should be mixing up the questions, asking them in random orders, varying their kind of emphasis when they speak to make it kind of seem a bit more unpredictable. Like if I said, is Tim using a spoon? In English, you kind of mix up the rhythm of the language, and you can even just make you think and process again, just from me doing that. So there's kind of more to it, but this is the basic technique. See how much mileage you can get from that. Hey, here's another technique. So circling is one technique. Here's another technique. Talk slowly. This is another technique you want to tell your tutor or remind them of, right? So in Japanese, you want to say, yeah, ゆっくり話してください. ゆっくり話してください. Please talk slowly. Okay? Because it's very hard for natives to slow down in their native tongue. But yeah, this kind of thing will help you get more input in a session with a tutor, or just your friend. If you've got a Japanese friend, just teach them this, and they can help you out a lot. And you can do the same for them in English.